Hello my lovely people! So, you're Master Rank 4, play for a couple of days and you might be saying, well, I need a really good melee weapon and this Xoris seems really interesting. What is this melee weapon? Well, this is a glaive melee weapon that you get in Master Rank 4 going halfway through the Deadrock Protocol quest. And this weapon is the best, and I do mean the best, melee weapon that you can get at low ranks for low-end gameplay, high-end gameplay, and also priming the enemies inside of basically anything. Well, without any more dilly-dallying, let's get straight into the actual Xoris build. First of all, we of course have the Xoris, of course, as a weapon used inside of the Grand Void against air inspectors. This is hands down the best weapon in the Grand Void for killing those specters. Second of all, let's say you're a Warframe player, you just started off and you want to go into Void Survival. Against level 50 Corrupted Heavy Gunners, this weapon one-shots them with their explosion. The build that I actually use is this build right here. Any single Warframe player can make this build without any issues. It's gonna take you 10 to 15 minutes to gather up Astral Twilight and also get a Volatile Quick Return, and there you go. That's the hardest thing to get. All of the mods you should probably have by now, and this weapon will decimate anything in the normal star chart. It can be used with this build, of course a little bit of upgrades would be quite good inside of arbitrations, but let's use the second build for that. Now, keep in mind, there's a couple of things that I want you guys to know. This weapon has infinite, combo. So, it gets up to 12x and it doesn't decay. Also, it has the highest explosion radius of any glaive weapon of 9 meters. But it does have a stagger, so if it explodes near you, it will stagger you, and you're a player that doesn't have Prime Sure-Footed, I'm guessing. So a Warframe such as Rhino, Revenant or Nezha would be incredibly good, just so you don't get staggered when the enemies get a little bit too close for comfort. Now, the, of course, Steel Path build. The Steel Path build is, of course, a lot upgraded, so it's much different. Of course, focusing on heavy damage, base damage, critical chance, critical damage, also getting a little bit of corrosive because this weapon does primarily do slash and electricity, so all we need to do is just add Prime Fever Strike in there, Volatile Quick Return, I guess, as well for that quick return and less bouncing, and of course, Corrupted Charge to get that initial combo, because the higher your combo is, the stronger your heavy attacks are. Now, another thing, this weapon is really good in Steel Path. Is it better than the Glaive Prime? That is a definite no. The Glaive Prime does much more damage to acolytes and enemies, but this weapon can be utilized in low to mid-level Steel Path without any issues. Later down the line, either the Glaive Prime gets unvolted, or maybe you get it at a cheap price, get it and use it instead of the Xoris. In my opinion, the Glaive Prime is just the big daddy melee glaive weapon in the game, and you should definitely pick it up. So, of course, priming enemies. You might be asking, what is priming enemies? Now, as a melee weapon, you have two options. You have Pressure Point or Condition Overload. Condition Overload is basically a mod that allows you to do more damage for each status type affecting the target. So, you might be asking yourself, well, don't usually people use secondaries? Well, yes, they do. The Epitaph and also the Kuvanukor are the primary, and also Cedo, are primers in the game. But with the addition of secondary Encumbered Arcane for secondaries, the Xoris is good, but it can apply only 3 status effects. But even for, of course, we have Galvanized Savvy, Shot, and I forgot the Aptitude. Yes, there you go, the 3 mods that increase the damage of the rifle, shotgun, and pistol per status effect affecting the target. So the Xoris can be used for that if you don't want to use the Epitaph or the Kuvanukor. Your damage will be a little bit less, but if you want to prime the enemies with the Xoris, this weapon is really good because of the blast radius that it has, 9 meters, incredibly good, and the actual fast attack rate of this weapon, so making it that you prime many more enemies. The build that I use is on the screen right now, Lasting Sting and Melee Prowess, increasing our status duration and status chance, because of course we want to proc, of course, more of the status effects and want them to last longer. The weapon that I pair this up with is going to be the Tenon Orcoplasmor that has Punch Through, making it basically eliminate everything in the game. Now, it did sort of go correspond that it does kinda have both the same elements of fire, viral, and radiation, so yeah, but you can use this on any weapon with Galvanized Shot, Aptitude, or Savvy. So, the Xoris. Incredibly good at low and high-end gameplay, incredibly good at priming your enemies, an incredibly good weapon for any sort of player. This has been the Gaming Weasel. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, do leave a like, a comment, and do subscribe for more, and I will see you guys on the next one. See ya.